In the last half hour. Look at that, 99 lightning strikes. But again, for the most part, the city of Tucson, unless you're about 20-30 miles west of the city of Tucson, we have been on the dry side. The other big story, you saw it here just about 10 minutes ago. I was talking about Hurricane Hilary. Literally, it went on a dime from a Category 2 now to a major Category 3 hurricane, with more on the impacts potentially that it could bring to southeastern Arizona. Let's send it over to forewarned meteorologist Daniel McFarland. Daniel, what can you tell us about the latest track and the latest intensity?
Well, Matt, when it comes to the strength of this storm, it's sitting at 120-mile-per-hour winds right now. Now, keep in mind, Category 4 is only 130, so don't be surprised if this is a Category 4 before you go to bed tonight. Now, the latest track here is really the same as what we've had for the last few hours. It's going to be a Category 4 storm as it continues to move up the coast of Baja, so those places like Cabo and that southern half of Baja could see things like strong winds, heavy rains, all the things you typically see with stronger hurricanes. But for us here in Tucson, it's not going to be a hurricane by the time it reaches us here in southern Arizona. Instead, it's going to either be a stronger tropical storm or a tropical depression at that point in time. But keep in mind, tropical systems tend to be very wide. In fact, this one is over 800 miles across, so that moisture will be here. Another big thing to keep in mind with these storms is that the eastern half of the storm is where you do see the heaviest rain and strongest winds. Now, this is going to be one of the last views we get of it before sunset. You do have that eye kind of collapsing a little bit, but it will be increasing and strengthening the storm, though, over the next little bit. Big time for us is going to be in between Saturday afternoon and Monday. We already have flood watches in effect, and that's going to be our main impact during the weekend.
And I'll say one more thing, Daniel, before we give it back to Sean. I know Sean said that he had a buddy that was going to take a cruise to Ensenada. Probably you want to call ahead to the cruise line, because that's going to be problematic. And the other thing, Daniel, Southern California has not received a direct tropical storm all the way since 1939. So in the scope of things, this is somewhat historic.
Yeah, it's something else big to keep in mind. And if it does, it looks like it will be staying a tropical storm for that whole time. So that's something we'll watch over the next few days.